morning, everyone. It's an early morning here because Violet is already in labor. So we did go see the vet, and we had her due date anywhere from Sunday to Thursday. Today's actually just Monday morning. We would have brought her yesterday or Saturday, but our reproductive vet said yes, they are open Saturdays, but they're really not for like C-sections, or more for like just emergencies, a half a day. So we were pretty nervous when she started showing signs of labor yesterday afternoon, early evening, around 5 o'clock. I was like, oh boy. And we called around because we know that she had some difficulties with her contractions before, pushing out her puppies. And so we would try to get a hold of some other vets in the area, and they only do, trying to catch a fly, they only do C-sections if the mother is in distress. They don't do like ones like a preventative, I would say. So I was like, oh great. So we just said, well, we'll try whelping at home. We really don't have many choices, and if we get into problems, we'll head off to one of those places. But she has kind of just been panting off and on all night and early morning. So now it's 7 something. We're gonna get ready to go. Our reproductive vet opens at 8, and I'm pretty sure these puppies will be born today. She has dirt on her nose because that is another sign of labor's due. They start digging, so she goes outside and she has been digging in the hut. But the poor thing's a wreck. She's been up most of the night. She has been just snoozing too. It hasn't just been panting like this, but she just went out and went potty and was digging in the porta hut. So that's a lot of energy right now for her to use. So she is definitely feeling it. Let's get these eye boogies out of here, girlfriend. Oh, goodness. And I already wiped her face because she had dirt on her face from digging into the thing. So I'm just getting a coffee and a sandwich, and we're going to head out. We've been up pretty much off and on all night with her. No digging on the couch, but this is another thing. They start digging and nesting. It's her instincts kicking in, but honestly, her water hasn't broke or anything like that. So we're going to let the professionals handle it. And this is exactly why, she's just so tired, why we knew that we may have this issue. And so we're going to get ready to head out soon, because they don't open till 8 o'clock, so there's no sense of getting there early and waiting on their doorstep. So it's about a 40-minute ride, so hopefully she doesn't have any puppies in the car. I doubt it. She hasn't had any all night yet, so stay tuned. So we made it here. No puppies, thank goodness. We checked in. We're just waiting for him to take her back. She is in active labor, so hopefully they come out here and get her pretty quick, because I'm a nervous wreck. Even though I've whelped a lot of litters, you always get nervous during or before until you know everything's going to be fine. So she's just one of 3 that we have to, well, we knew that she would be a C-section. I'm just glad that we're able to hold off. She was, until we could get here on Monday. So I can feel the whole car rocking. So if I'm shaking, it's because she's panting. She's 172 pounds. But they're going to take her back. They know she's here. They know she's in active labor. So this is where Daisy has been for the same procedure, so a C-section. So they did a good job the first time. And I believe it's the same surgeon. So fingers crossed everything goes fine and she's doing good. I don't even know how many puppies she has, but we'll find out. So we are in the vets, and they did the progesterone just to be sure she wasn't fooling us and that she's really ready to go. So I told you before, they do progesterone, they want it below a 2. She is at a 0.7. She is ready to deliver these babies. And they did an internal check on her, but you literally have to have like a foot-long finger to feel her cervix. That's what the vet said. So he couldn't check and see if her cervix was open. But we are just snoozing on the floor. They are going to try to clip the hair off her belly to get her going, but she is a big girl, so They're gonna need someone to lift her up and stuff. So she is having her puppies today. And wish us luck and pray all goes well with this beautiful girl. They did bring her in a blanket so she could get comfortable on the floor, and she's just been hanging out with Mama. She loves me and her dad. She's a very sweet girl. So wish us luck, and we shall see what we got here. She's ready to go. All right, guys, I've been waiting in my car, waiting for Miss Violet to have her C-section. I was gonna have a nap, but I ended up not napping. You know how it is when you're tired. You can't, and then when you can nap, you don't. So yeah. But she's all done. She just had surgery. Home. Let me get back home. I am in here with Miss Violet and the babies. She did great. She ended up having 5. We knew it wasn't a huge litter, but 5 is fine. Like I said, we had 3 different girls pregnant. We were actually happier because it's easier to manage small litters. Bigger litters it's just harder all the way around. But she had 5 puppies. She has 2 girls and 3 boys, and she has a little rainbow of colors. But her C-section went well. So at that place is a little different than the reproductive vet we had in New Hampshire. There, basically, when they wake up, they want you to, they're ready to go home. Where in New Hampshire, they kept him there for a little while, waited for him to come around and stuff. So Violet came out in a blanket. She was up, her head was up, but she really wasn't walking yet. So it had about 5 people carrying her out, like holding her on like a stretcher and a blanket and putting her into the car. I, on the other hand, would have waited about a half hour and she would have been able to walk on her own, because she actually walked in the house from the car. So everything went well. And she was feeling better. She just kind of needed time to come out of it. She's under anesthesia, and in New Hampshire they kind of warm them up and put them on, a nice little heater blowing on them and stuff. So it's a little different here. Here they bring them out in the basket. I'm so worried of a draft getting on the puppies, but they're healthy puppies. They are huge puppies. So she had 5. And the vet did say they look like you got 2-week-old puppies here, because they're over 2 pounds. They're about 2 pounds, and I haven't actually weighed them in a little over, but they did at the vet's. So they're heavy little heathings. I'll give you a look at them. I do have the heating light on just to warm up Mom, and she seems to be enjoying it, even though it's like 75 in here today. It's warm outside too. It's definitely not cold, but we always just, we want her to feel better. She was under anesthesia. Usually if they have C-section, they'll be out of it for a day or so, and then she'll be up and attentive to her puppies. She knows her puppies are there. When I took them off to kind of move her over a little bit just so I could, get them on the teats, she opened her eyes like, what are you doing? So she is getting up, sitting up, looking at them and stuff, but she walked in, she's resting. She was up and about when she first came in, like walking around a little bit. But here's a little Violet and Grizzy's. This looks like a lilac Merrill. It's a girl. This is a Merrill boy. This is a beautiful blue Harlequin girl. I have a cute little chubby black little boy, black and white. And on this side, she only has 4 teats, so they all have been stealing teats already. Mind you, these puppies were just born, so I don't want to disrupt them. It looks like these 2 are fighting for a titty anyway, but they're just born, so look how big they are. What a little chubba. Really cute. He's a big boy, but they've all been hunting for titties. So, and this one is sleeping. I didn't want to wake her up, but they're very cute. And I'll probably, and Mom's doing well. She's just resting. I may just take the light off once I feel like she's warm enough. If she starts panting, I'll definitely shut the light off. But where she was under anesthesia, the heating light's not a bad idea. And I have them for the girls downstairs too, for when they deliver, which Daisy will be later this week. Oh, I'm going to be so tired. But I'm hoping for Daisy. Actually seems like the most loaded one out of all of them to me. It definitely is not Benson. Benson is not have many in there. But look at these guys. Look at her. She's really cute. She's got a whole blue leg and a really cute little face. Look at that little face. Oh, she's so cute. A white tip tail. But she had a beautiful blue harlequins. She doesn't really have any that look like her this time, which is surprising because last time she had like 3. But this is like a Merrill lilac girl. She's so cute. I'm wondering if her spots will probably fade, but she would be considered a spotted girl. And these guys are all fighting. He's finally sleeping. He's been bebopping around. But I did say a prayer. I'm not really a religious person, but I sure was praying last night that everything would be fine with her and that her puppies would make it safely here and she would be safe. So somebody was looking out for us because everything worked out. Well, hello. It is how many days? Let's say Wednesday. Kind of lose track of what the days are. So today's Wednesday. The puppies are 2 days old and she's doing great. She's very attentive to the babies. They are big babies, but she's doing awesome. And we're just trying to enjoy them before Daisy goes into labor, which should be this week. She's due Friday or Saturday, but normally they don't go exactly on their date, just like humans. So she could go Thursday. That's tomorrow. So today's like our last day for who knows, but we've been monitoring her too. So we just take turns of who's in here with Violet, even though I really feel like even after day 2 that we don't have to be in here with her 24/7 because she's got this. She gets up away from the babies on her own. She comes in. She is very, looks around to see where they are. If they make any noise, she pops her head up to see what's going on. And there's only 5. It's not like she's looking for 13 puppies to make sure none of them are here. And we do have like on her blankets, we have like a low mat underneath, and then we do a big blanket, and then we have the whelping pads because they're supposed to be better with the water resistant. So there can be a puppy that maybe will slip under one of the blankets, but to just put the whelping blanket down on the floor is kind of hard. She is a big girl, so that would be like us sitting on a hardwood floor. It would, so we try to give her a little bit of padding. So let's take a look at these little turkeys. I just turned the big light off because it's daytime and I thought maybe she would enjoy some, a little bit of less lighting. And then here they all are. So they're sprawled out because it's a warm day. We don't have the heat on. It's gonna be 82 today. And it is October, so how great does that sound? But, so it's warm. They're all sprawled out. If they were cold, they would bunch up in a ball. But as you can see, they are not. They go up, drink from mama, and then they come out here a little bit and toddle off. Now see how, this is what she does all the time. Pops her head up, checks on the kids, and flops back, puts her head on the pillow. I just have my feet on this because... and she can put her head on it, so she likes that too. But this little boy is the Merrill. They named him Howl, which is so cute, I think. He is going to Maryland. And this is our little black boy. He's still looking for a home. And our beautiful little lilac, these two are still looking for little homes. He's a lilac and white boy. We had a lot of people for girls, not as many for boys. So that's fine. It happens. And then this is the fawn lilac Merrill. She's staying local, so that's kind of cool. And then this little girl, they named her Aspen. She's the blue harlequin. She is going out to Tennessee, so not too far for her either. But we only had 2 girls, and sometimes we have a lot of people on the waiting list for boys. This time it was girls. So the girls have homes, and we do have just a couple of boys still looking for homes, but they are only 2 days old, so I'm not too worried, and they're doing fantastic. These are going to be, you know, their mama's a big, so they're going to be a bigger Dane. But I think Violet is a great example of a Great Dane. She doesn't have a lot of droopy eyes. She is got the big jowls because she's a Great Dane, and she's 172 pounds. Grizzly is more American, so it makes a nice combination for their puppies, I think. But these will be bigger. Look at this little face. I don't know if there you go. She's sleeping. Look at them. They got their little tongues out. These two are at the milk bar together. So she has a ton of milk for 5 puppies too. So we've been keeping an eye on her teats to make sure we don't get any mastitis started. Those are things that you all want to look for early on. And she is on medication because she did have a C-section. I did, thank God, check her incision, and they did indeed stitch her up, which is wonderful. I'm not sure why any vet would use glue on a dog that's over 100 pounds, but it has happened. They used glue on Charlie when she had her spay, and of course it opened and she had to go back and she had to get staples. So it's nice to avoid those things. So the reproductive vet does stitches, and I think our reproductive vet will be the next one that does our spays too. I think our regular vet just, I don't know. So I feel more confident with them. They've done a good job so far. They're just a little bit further of a drive for us, but it's quality that we're looking for. So we will have a spay or so coming up later on maybe next year, because this year is almost over. But yeah, so I'm just chilling. I got my TV going. I can watch TV. We sit in here. We make it comfortable for ourselves and for her. But, you know, we do have a basket when we go out. Puppies go in here, just so when she comes in, she can find herself a nice spot to lay down. And usually she's trying to lay down on this little, like, foam single mattress my daughter got me. Thank the good Lord. It's so comfortable. We did many years of just sleeping on the floor, and we are sleeping in here with her. You look like you're tired. And she will pant off and on for the first, you know, week or so. It's her uterus going back to size, so it's contracting back. So it is the medicine they gave her is for pain and inflammation, so she's on pain meds, which they always do that for C-sections. So all is good for these little turkeys, and I'm sure by next week's video we will have more puppies. But Daisy, when I put her outside, she's been doing a lot of digging holes like somebody over here did. Oh yeah, see, she's trying to get up on this. When I slept in here at night, I woke up and she had her head on this and half of her upper body on this little tiny mattress with me. She's so cute. She's a good girl though. She normally sleeps on a couch, so you know, she has a raised bed, but neither one of them, her or Eva, seem to bother with the raised bed. They do. I do notice Eva going out. Where are you going? On the raised bed, because the sun comes in out in the sunroom, and that one's in like a little kennel. The door's open, so she goes in. A lot of times I'll see her go in there and sitting on her raised bed because the sun comes in. She's, you know, sunbathing. But other than that, they like to be on their couch. But everybody's doing good. I love sitting here watching them and taking pictures and for the new owners. I think I enjoy them as much as you know, the new owners will, the new families. So what do you think, Violet? See you next week, guys.